Hello everyone, and welcome back to more Shadow Hearts Koudelka. Here's a look at where we are at level-wise. I am going to level up so much between now and when we start next video. We will start next video at level 35, which is pretty freaking sweet. Also, last video I forgot to pick this up. That's the room I found that item in. We will be back there later. So if you're having trouble figuring out where to pick up that item, don't worry, we will get there. For some reason, we cannot leave this area until we check this out.
This one's Mylius. And Lambsbrick. And Michael Mayer. And Kunras Amphitheatrum Sapienti Eterni. What a collection of books!
May I ask you something? What are all these?
Ancient books on mysticism and alchemy. Ancient science. It's enticing, really. It's all about making gold from lead. It's just a ruse peddled by power-hungry tricksters blinded by greed. But in amongst the trash, there are some valuable works illustrating basic useful experiments for predicting the laws of nature. Predicting a time when all men will be treated equally. God's will. No room for this argument nowadays.
James.
Hermeticism, Kabbalah, meaningless. Why is it not here?
What?
Where else can it be?
Are you looking for something?
I don't understand.
You don't understand. I don't understand. What are you grumbling about? You're acting really strange. Just cut the charade and tell us what's going on.
I do not like this. We all have our reasons. Let's not delve into each other's personal affairs.
I am not bound to please thee with my answers.
Do all men kill the things they do not love?
Hate any man, the thing he would not kill?
And I thought all outlaws read just simple, stupid poets. You read Shakespeare. You're smarter than you look.
That makes two of us.
Well, we had a little bit more discourse in the group, but yet a little bit more coming together. It's kind of strange. I wanted to grind a bit before starting this video, but I could not leave without activating that cutscene. I can understand the idea of not wanting to disclose all that information, but we are kind of dependent on each other to survive, so you would think a little bit of information would be nice. But we do get the idea that James is looking for something. It is strange having a playable character hiding things from the audience. It kind of works in something like God of War, but ordinarily I'm not a big fan of characters hiding things from the player. Be sure to pick up that key item I got, because when I was playing I had to come back and get it because I had forgot to pick it up, which was quite annoying. I had so many enemy encounters while I was just trying to walk around. I eventually had to activate a cheat to turn off random encounters, just so I wouldn't have to deal with it for recording purposes. Like I mentioned, I will be leveling up quite a bit before next video, so I'm not really worried about levels. So now we get to do a bit of back and forth. We will be coming back and forth through this area a few times this video. I don't know if I ever said that I wanted more backtracking, just that I wondered if there would be any backtracking. But we got it either way. So I wondered if there was something that you could do with this clock, and there is. You can climb it and use an item here. While I was grinding before last video, the clock would randomly chime every now and again. I don't know if that means anything. I don't know if you can do something or if it's just there for atmosphere. That is your clue for the puzzle we have to solve here. I'm not very musically inclined, so this would be quite annoying for me. But through the power of editing, that's not going to be a problem for you guys. So how y'all been? How y'all doing? It's a Friday night as I record this. The start of a 3-day weekend, which is always nice. Let's see what's behind this door.
What? What is that? Is that just a mummy? Cross your fingers.
That was disappointing.
Holy Savior! The secret of the Fomors from the bottom of the sea. Immigrate!
Did you say immigrate document? What do you know about the immigrate document? Where is it? Answer me!
Immigrate document? Is that what you've been looking for? Hey, you crotchety old fart! I am sick of this! You don't want to talk? Fine. I'll slit your holy throat and leave your body for the rats!
Edward?
I have no choice. Here it is. I'm on instructions direct from the Vatican. There is a manuscript. It's said to be somewhere in the building.
And that manuscript is?
Right. It's called the immigrate document.
Is it very important?
For hundreds of years, it was kept deep inside the Vatican library. No one was allowed to read it. In fact, many people thought it didn't even exist.
That's weird. So why is it here now?
Somebody stole it.
Stolen? From the Vatican?
Right.
No way.
Not many people could steal a thing like that from the Vatican. You really have to know the place, or have enough money. According to our secret investigation, however, the wealthy gentleman who purchased this monastery bribed someone within the Vatican to steal the immigrate document for him.
Wealthy gentleman?
Yes. Patrick Hayworth. My friend.
But it's not like it was priceless art or something. Why would he be interested in a thing like that?
For years, Patrick has dabbled in mysticism and alchemy. He's on the brink of crossing the line, playing God.
Playing God?
Creating life, Edward. It's thought that the ancient druids' forbidden secrets on eternal life and resurrecting the dead are contained in the immigrate document.
I can't believe that.
Of course, it's just silly superstition. That's why I'm here, to try to convince Patrick to drop his dangerous experiments and return the immigrate document to the Vatican.
Wow. You'd never guess that a lunatic like that was living here by looking at the place.
According to the caretakers, he lives in the building next to the temple.
They said that?
Yes, they're terrified. With all the crazy things going on around here now. They haven't even seen Patrick, yet they feel indebted to him. They've asked me here to see if I can save him.
So that's your story?
I don't know. One more mystery that needs unraveling.
I could not have said it better than Koudelka just did. And we get the last piece of glass that we need to unlock that door. That door leads to the main chamber for this chapel. I like that we're finally getting some backstory on James and why he's here. It is interesting that he's having to deal with a problem caused by a friend of his. That is interesting that you can still activate those puzzle pieces even though we've already solved the puzzle. So now we get to backtrack all the way to where we put those glass pieces before. I get the feeling that immigrate document is going to be very important. I forget exactly what it said. Something about raising the dead or playing God. I don't know. I just have a bad feeling we're going to have to deal with that at some point, and that it's not just superstition, but it's actually something important. And that's the final piece we needed to unlock this door. We will explore that in a bit, but there's an important thing we need to do before we do that. There are going to be a few random pauses as there are several camera angles where I cannot see Koudelka, or I'm just safe stating. So you remember that room where I mentioned I missed an item last video, one of the glass pieces? That's where I'm heading back to now. So if for some reason you don't know where that room is that I missed that item in, you're about to see where that room is. That enemy makes a strange sound. And for once, we actually had Edward kill something. Pretty much in these battles, like I mentioned last video, it's just hang on until Koudelka can perform a spell to kill everything. She's quite beastly at this point. So I hope you folks are doing well on a Friday night. Although this will be uploaded not on a Friday night, but at some other point in the week. Fortunately, we don't have to solve that puzzle, just activate it since we unlocked everything we needed in order to do that. And that gives us a document we will read at the end of this video. I say we will read, it's only me, not a we. And I will not be reading the document, because I'm blind. I will summarize as much of it as I can, but I'm not reading it. Somewhere in this video, I upgrade Koudelka's tornado attack from level 2 to level 3. I'm not sure exactly when that happens. It is funny when you kill an enemy and a different character has a victory pose, even if he had very little, if anything, to do with the battle. So for this video, we're not really moving that much further from where we started, but we are making significant progress, I feel. And I like that we're in a different area. I'm so used to games that take place in the US or in Japan. It's nice to be playing a game that's taking place in a different country. I know somebody commented about that on the first video of this LP, and I wholeheartedly agree. So now we unlock this door, we can come in here. It's an awesome room full of enemies. I showed this fight in its entirety because it's essentially a redo of a boss fight we had a few videos back. I'm not sure if these enemies are weaker than the boss that we fought, but we are definitely stronger. So I thought this would be a good indication of how far we've come in the game, that we can take these things out as quickly as we will. Since I know I'm going to one-shot one enemy with Koudelka, I figured I would target a different enemy with James and Edward. However, that doesn't really matter. They are so close together. Yeah, we're taking them both out. I think at this point, Tornado is level 3. But I could be wrong. Another strange sound made by these enemies. I think it's time we put this thing out of its misery. Yeah, you weren't really going to be a challenge, were you? So I hope everybody is doing well. Both my parents and a good friend of mine are not doing as well. I got bad news related to 3 people I care about this week. Hopefully things will work out for them. And hopefully things are working out for you. We will come back this way later. But for now we can't do anything here. We can pick up a shotgun. I'm not sure how useful it is. I will consider using it, but that will depend on my mood. Or how useful the thing is. I'm kind of enjoying the rifle at the moment. Let's check this out. Well, that doesn't look great. It seems we've got an obstacle. It's a video game, so of course there are going to be obstacles. Why wouldn't there be? Wouldn't want forward progress, would we?
What's that bell?
Just the passing of another day. Oh no, today's All Saints' Day.
This spiritual energy is coming together. What power? It's like a monster.
What? What's happening? This can't be. No! Koudelka!
And we are thrust into a battle alone with this thing. Something I did not mention before, there's an escape option for battles. Let's go ahead and use that now. And the game gives you a save option. I highly recommend using that as you are about to switch discs as soon as you move here. So just in case something bad happens, it's always good to save your game whenever possible. This emulator is kind of weird in that it doesn't recognize save slots from previous discs. And I did have some issues getting it to change discs. That was kind of awkward. And that boss that we ran from, as far as I can tell, you cannot defeat it, so just escape the battle. However, we see running water, which means there is a save point nearby. A proper save point, not just a random go through a door and you get a save option. This game is actually pretty forgiving when it comes to save points. I'm a big fan of that. So you can save your game there if you want. I highly recommend you do so. And there's one other thing I want to do before we end the video, which is check out that file that we picked up earlier. Just trying to get a decent view of Koudelka to end the video on. So if you check out this file, you can pause it and read it. I highly recommend you do so. These letters are from the mother of Charlotte. Charlotte is the ghost girl that we saw in a few of these videos. James mentions he doesn't know much about her, but he's sure that her mother loved her very much. And of course she scoffed at that idea. We find out in these notes that she really did love her daughter. I'm not sure why she got sent here. She also mentions Charlotte has a brother and sister who she will never see again. The savage part about these letters is at some point her mother mentions that Charlotte had her 12th birthday. We already know that Charlotte died at the age of 9, so this lady was writing to a dead person. It's pretty savage, but I've seen a whole lot worse in games like Fatal Frame. And this game is early enough that this had not become a trope at this point. So there's some good info in here if you are bothering to read this. I did find a video series of this game where the person read these documents, so I just listened to them read it. If I could see well enough to do so, I would happily read this, but since I can't, trust me, you do not want me trying to read this. Plus, I had my fill of reading during Tenchu Time of the Assassins. Speaking of which, somebody commented on one of my videos for that LP, mentioning that after you complete all 50 missions, you unlock a couple of secret missions. You have to complete the first to unlock the second, which I did the other day. So I will be returning to that game at some point to show them off. Which should be fun because apparently nobody on YouTube has done them. The first one is kind of strange. You're dumped into the future, it looks like. There are police officers and cars. It kind of reminds me of that hidden mission from Wrath of Heaven, which is a mission I still need to do for that LP, but I might re-record that LP because the capture card I was using at the time was not great. So we will have to see how I feel about that one. I do love the Tenchu series, so it would be nice to return to another one of those games. I hate re-recording old LPs, but pretty much everything from before I got my Elgato needs a re-record. So at some point I do have to get on that. The good thing is that means there are some good games that I get to revisit. Either way, that's it for the document and this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time with more Shadow Hearts Koudelka.